on show this afternoon. An opportunity to prove they belong in the big time, in the rarefied surrounds of playoff rugby. And his job will be to kick off this pool encounter. In this World Rugby Under-20 Championship, pools go down, top and bottom collide. Can Scotland stall the Junior Boks? Although this green and gold winning machine continue its ominous march. Oh, what an angle that is from Duncan. Impressive cover defence from the Boks. Irwin moving it. Wide they go again. Moncrief working off his wing. Stepping inside Cheswo Uiste. South Africa holding these Scottish runners on the 22. Scotland seeking the penetration. Irwin using the boot. Big Ruben Logan's out here, but it's well covered. And this could be trouble because Jaco Williams can motor. Malkas on his inside. Williams kicking for himself to chase. He's on his bike. He's done it all himself. An 80-yard scorcher. Jaco Williams sets the World Championship ablaze and sickens Scotland as the Junior Boks flick the switch.
Unreal. Unreal. Scotland, after 15 phases, attacking the South African defence. One kick, it was a perfectly weighted kick as well, but well read by Jaco Williams, and then just the gas from the man, and the knowledge and the vision to be able to see the space in behind and just to follow on with his gas, and a beautiful bounce.
Want to work on his running game, but they're not overburdening him, the South African coaches, because he's getting the ball to space, using those weapons outside him with such skill. Now it's time to use the sledgehammer. Ramal takes, they wheel it infield, Scotland fumble, South Africa score. A driving maul on roller skates. And at the bottom of it looks to be the captain, Thando Biela. Have a look at this scrummage. Irrepressible drive from the Junior Boks, and off goes Everson. The hot stepper. Williams on his shoulder. Everson throws the dummy. Williams throws his hands up in the air. Still they come, still the Maraud. Stefanus Linde. Reeds pulling it back for Moyo. Malkas gone. The kid they call Kingdom ascends the throne in Calvisano, and South Africa have 3 in a dozen minutes.
That was very pretty to watch. The power of the scrum, and then obviously utilising the dummy runners to go behind the back.
Stay 2 meters now, okay?
With loose forwards and second rowers in the midfield playing together.
Clean line out ball for the Junior Boks. Moyo stabbing the kick through. Williams and Cupido onto it. Gino Cupido to within 4 metres. Williams, any one of them could score it. Williams says, I'll do it myself. A double for the Shark, and Scottish blood is hemorrhaging into the waters of Calvisano. 15 minutes, and the bonus point already tucked away safely.
No, he's in the 5, he's fine.
Scotland conceding more points per opposition visit to this part of the field. They're 22, and any other team leaking more than 4 points a visit on average. South Africa have scored every time they've occupied this Caledonian real estate, and they're scoring again. The maul crumbles a metre or so short, but big Oliver Reed is on hand to plunder his first try for the Junior Boks. From Paul Ruas in Stellenbosch to the rutted paddocks of northern Italy, Oliver Reed.
Unfortunately, the board didn't get a hand, and now in a really ideal situation to try and launch a
five set, please.
Something from the playing field, from the training field.
The Piper starts up again as Scotland to find their gears in attack. Shot coming in from Biela as Logan thundering through the middle. Ruben Logan into Stephen. Beautifully worked score from the Scots. The muscularity of Ruben Logan countering South Africa's power. And Seb Stephen, the Glasgow Warriors hooker, under the sticks, Scotland on the boards, and the piper with something to pipe about.
There was no major imagination in that Scottish attack, but
fabulous take from Jaco Williams under duress from Ollie Duncan, battling through the collisions of much bigger men. Grobbelaar missing Romal, Van der Merwe and Malchas stepping inside. The footwork is electric. Malchas, Mentu searing away untouched. Everything this Junior Boks touch turns to sweet, sweet green and gold.
And then also, during the build-up as well, Ian Vandermeer, who's just come on, fantastic ball, and then the footwork was unreal, and what an amazing finish. But we see in the replay here, we don't get the front side, the front vision of the break, but the break by Dominic Malgas to his fullback, it was a very, 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 very clean.
Only won it once though, 2012. Some famous names on the team sheet: Henry Pollard, Peter Skrifty-Toy, Stephen Kitsoff among them, as they set things up in the Scottish 22 again. And Dr. Dre, Williams, Grobbelaar, Biela the skipper, powerful fend from the flanker. Williams and Reid, footwork as well as ferocity.
Off it now, Scotland! Off it now!
Scotland through Duncan and Douglas, slowing things up a little. South Africa come again through Stefanos Linde. Everson, Gino Cupido, the rangy 7 specialist. Scotland hold him up. Cupido fights his way to within a metre. Everson burrowing, interfered with at the base. Everson snipes, still not quite. There again for the Junior Boks. Over they go, and in they go. And JD Erasmus comes up with the ball.
Good pressure again, good continuity as well from South Africa. They went through about 12 phases there, just holding on to ball in the tight trenches there. Couple of pick and goes, good strong carries as well. Great distribution from Everson.
Charlie Moss, Matthew Irwin, Jack Brown in the line, Logan alongside him. Brown well caught.
Would you agree? Yeah, I agree. Would you agree with that, Coops?
Agree, mate.
Okay, thank you. Scotland 5, yeah?
Charlie Moss
Number 5
into the sin bin, and this will go for a foul play review. Things go from bad to worse for Scotland in the final moments of the half. With Riley Norton, the South Africa captain, who's not playing today, but because of the distance involved in travelling from Batu's homeland in South Africa to Stellenbosch, where they go to university together, spends a lot of time with Riley's family. His dad Chris was a top rugby player in uni rugby in South Africa, and Batu sometimes eats them out of house and home, we understand, the Nortons, but it's another example of how tight these boys are. Here's Everson picking up the scraps and gallivanting over, and finally South Africa have their half century.
And finally Everson gets across the line after many impressive breaks in the first half, but the fluidity in the second half from South Africa hasn't been great. Scotland have really showed a bit more fight as well, but South Africa here after 20 minutes through a lost ball, Everson ends up getting the first try.
As a squadron of fighter jets power overhead, bound for the mountains in the distance. Ian Van der Merwe bangs over the extras. Keanu Everson though, how good, how deadly.
Just so light on his feet, just good awareness, good speed.
Use it!
Cowan's kick, fun fake after it. Where's it landing? Cupido gobbles it up, and Gino Cupido could fill it them from deep. Here's Mentu. Fun fake, great cover tackle, but Malchas is there. Dimitri Erasmus is there. Williams running the switch line. Erasmus buffeting Jack Brown onto his knees. Malchas picks it up. The tempo furious, the pace unrelenting, the skills majestic. Stefanos Linda. Oh, wow. That is jaw-dropping. Jaw-dropping, pulse-quickening, mind-bending rugby from the Junior Springboks.
That was one of the most amazing movements I think I've seen for a long time, especially in age group rugby, but starting from your own 22, getting to the last at the end here, obviously we're seeing who's scoring the try, but all 15 South African players were in the 40 metres. So everyone's up there.
And Hunter and Brown now sees the space down the tram lines. Mintu, who dropped the ball, is going to be first to recover it. That's work rate, that's effort, that's class.
Keep coming, retreat South Africa, retreat please. Thank you.
Hawking for Scotland. Mintu again is there to take his legs away. How quickly these junior Boks recover and work for each other. How hungry they are to recover from mistakes and stop the bleeding. Logan dipping his shoulders, just couldn't shovel the offload to a teammate. Cupido picks it back up, goes again for South Africa. Teron with an important bit of breakdown protection. Flikani and Fenter and Van der Merwe. Everson flinging it to the wide outside where Mintu is injured, but how's that? Like a matador from Williams. Malchus marauding. Everson on the inside. That's caviar. Wherever you are, get out of your chairs, get on your feet and applaud these South African tyros. Who can stop them?
So pretty to watch. You know, the long ball, the initial long ball comes from Kieran Iverson, and then he's running the inside line, the typical scrum half line, and Malgas here, who's been outstanding today as well.
It looks like Hashim Peed, who's the only remaining back, one of the stars of this competition, has come on. He's going to deputise further out in the back line. Kerio for Scotland.
Release.
To Cupido. Cowan and Logan on the inside to Stephen, twirling out of the contact. Ubeka fighting for the turnover, can't get it. Cowan out it goes.
Step back, please.
Duncan. Some footwork from the flanker in the shadow of the South African posts. Cowan again, Finlayson Russell. And Scotland have their second. A long, long time between drinks. 43 minutes between try number 1 and try number 2. But a Scottish.
The mentality of South Africa if they want to attack.
I think we know the answer, don't we?
Yeah.
Set.
Final minute of the match. And South Africa looking to polish and burnish this already glossy scoreline. Beautiful action on the passing from Van der Merwe and Dimitri Erasmus. And now Cupido, effortless, ghosting run through the middle from Williams. And guess who's on his shoulder? The star of the show, the foreign player in Northern Italy, Hashim Peed, the tournament's top try scorer, moves on to 5 for the pool phase.
The clock's about there for your shot clock, okay?
We'll have the last word. The green machine keeps on trucking.